There's be brief. There's a couple people that are not with us anymore that I'd like to recognize. Um, there's a couple people that aren't here anymore with us that I'd like to recognize. One of our dear friends, Joe Imbernoni, who will be on our team today. So you guys are in trouble. And JD from Durox Jewelers. They're upstairs. So I just wanted to say a couple quick words to them guys. And, here's David.
All right.
There's be brief. There's a couple people that are not with us anymore that I'd like to recognize. There's a couple people that aren't here anymore with us that I'd like to recognize. One of our dear friends, Joe Imbernoni, who will be on our team today. So you guys are in trouble. And JD from Durox Jewelers. They're upstairs. So I just wanted to say a couple quick words to them guys. And, here's David.
All right, cool. Thanks, Oz. Thank you again to everybody for coming today. I just want to kind of remind everybody why we're here. Since 2005, over 50,000 vets have come home and taken their own lives. That's 22 every single day. While we are here today golfing, that statistics tells us that 11 more will take their own lives, okay? That's why we're here. 2+ years ago, there was not one Veterans Treatment Court in Michigan. Now Michigan leads the nation with over 26 Veterans Treatment Courts. What we're doing saves lives, people. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please honor the flag by removing your hats and placing your hand over your hearts. Sing along if you wish. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare for the rifle salute.
As you guys will see, these four gentlemen right here represent each branch of the service. These four gentlemen right here are active duty right now, protecting your freedom, and they served abroad in the sandbox. I want to introduce first to you Staff Sergeant Davis in the United States Army. Staff Sergeant Wiley from the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! First Class Petty Officer Johnny Harper for the United States Navy. And Master Sergeant Lamb for the United States Air Force. These are guys are protecting our freedom. They'll have these flags on their carts, so when you see them, you might want to say a little thank you to them. Thank you, gentlemen.
We're going to ask all the officers to stay right here for a moment. We have some opening announcements about the outing. You'll be playing a four-person scramble. The men will play the white blue tees. The women will play the red forward tees. If men are over 70, they can...
Ladies and gentlemen, please honor the flag by removing your hats and placing your hand over your hearts. Sing along if you wish. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare for the rifle salute.
Honor guard. Attention. Report. Arms. Ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Set. Arms.
As you guys will see, these four gentlemen right here represent each branch of the service. These four gentlemen right here are active duty right now protecting your freedom, and they served abroad in the sandbox. I want to introduce first to you Staff Sergeant Davis in the United States Army. Staff Sergeant Wiley from the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! First Class Petty Officer Johnny Harper for the United States Navy. And Master Sergeant Lamb for the United States Air Force. These are guys are protecting our freedom. They'll have these flags on their carts, so when you see them, you might want to say a little thank you to them. Thank you, gentlemen.
We're going to ask all veterans just to stay right here.
Speakers for today, okay? Because it doesn't work. All right, our keynote speakers that I'd like to introduce is the Macomb County Executive, Mark Hackle, and the Oakland County Executive, L. Brooks Patterson.
Holy cow, Brooks has let me go first. This is amazing. That means out of the 10 minutes we have, I might get my 5 minutes. Otherwise, if he went first, I probably wouldn't be allowed that opportunity. Actually, I just want to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak and say a few things. I was much more excited about being out there golfing for the 18 holes that I had the opportunity to do. It's only the second time I got to golf this year. And I'm not much of a golfer, but truth be told, there are certain events that I will go to golf at. Many events I like to attend, I like to be at, but when I was asked by Jody as well as Mark Swatolski to be at this one for the purpose of not only speaking but to golf, I couldn't wait for the opportunity. And it was for the interactions and the conversations. And quite honestly, one of the conversations was very humbling. And I won't mention any names, but we stopped by one of the holes, and there was a gentleman that was at that hole, and thanking us for being there, for golfing. And so I asked him, I took the moment just to ask him what his purpose of being there was. And he said he was the father of a son who spent time in the military, and that he is no longer with him. And he explained to me that he was 22 years of age, and when he had come back, he had some problems, and many problems. And as a result of his concerns or his problems that he had in life, he decided to take his own life. And you can see as the father is telling this conversation, I had asked him how long ago it was, and he said exactly 22 months ago, and knows it to the day. And probably will for the rest of his life, know exactly when that day was and how many days have passed since his son has passed. And as he was talking about this, I couldn't help but ask him if he had any other children, and his response was no. That was the only son that he had had. And you couldn't help but want to get emotional or want to get choked up. But standing there talking to him, I was fortunate enough to have had experiences in life to see things like this, both personally as well as professionally. You just reach out by saying whatever it is you could and thanking him for the time that his son had served in the military, protecting us, those of us that get to enjoy our freedoms here in this country. And it also makes me very proud to realize that here in this region, in particular in Macomb County, we are very much involved in what goes on with the defense and the military. We make things that help protect those that go overseas. And we're trying to grow that here in Macomb County and in Southeast Michigan, along with our partners, in particular, Brooks Patterson. The defense industry is strong, alive, and well in Macomb County. We're continuing to grow that, not just because it's an economic advantage, but the things that we make are a sense of pride for what it is it does for those that are out there overseas protecting us here on our homeland. So that being said, we know the funds that are raised and the support that you're giving really helps us in another avenue. It's for those that come back and support causes like we have here in Macomb County and in Oakland County, our courts that we deal with the military, our veterans courts, and people like Jody and Mark Swatolski, who really do have a compassion and concern and care for those that come back and are troubled and have some challenges. how do we help them through those troubles and those challenges? And I can tell you, these are two judges that I know extremely well, that really do care and are concerned about what's going on. And they too are very thankful for your support being here today. And I want to continue that support by saying thank you as well for what it is you are doing for those that protect us overseas when they come back home. So with that being said, I want to thank you again and turn it over to my friend, Brooks Patterson, from Oakland County.
Thank you, Mark. That was a real upper. When I speak, I always like to tell a couple of stories, a couple of jokes, but after that, I'm sort of disinclined to do so. All of you didn't get this at your place. I sat down and Make Macomb Your Home, a little coaster. Did anybody else get that besides me? No. On the back, they list all the mobile home parks on the back where you. You saw me get up here a little slowly. I think most of you know if you're Oakland County residents. But I'm sure Macomb also. That was in a bad accident. Actually, it'll be 3 years next month, Pat. 3 years. And I've been recovering slowly. Your bones don't heal as fast when you're 38. So, as an aside, to tell you a quick story, I go to therapy 3 days a week and trying to regain my strength, my balance, and so forth. And I was in the gym about 6 weeks ago, and all of a sudden this new girl shows up. In her 20s, very svelte, very beautiful, very attractive. She was dressed in all of her workout attire, walked right through the center of the room. No way in hell you're going to miss her. She just gets on the treadmill 4 down from where I am, so I call my trainer over. I said, Dan, what machine should I use to attract her attention? He said, try the ATM machine in the lobby. I got a couple of stories basically involving golf. One is the guy comes home after a golf game and he sits on the couch, didn't even say hello to his wife, and she's trying to wait on him, get dinner ready. He won't speak, very sullen. And so it was just a bad scene. He comes to the table, eats dinner, goes back in front of the TV and watches something and then goes to bed. Not even a word. It was an absolute terrible night for her. So she writes in her diary, I thought my marriage was good, but it's obviously over. My husband doesn't even talk to me anymore. He just sits there and he's very, very angry and sullen. I don't know. I just think, unfortunately, my marriage is over. He writes in his diary, how in the hell do you miss a 2-foot putt? Yeah, you got it. I heard a great story that I brought it with me. Had nothing to do with golf, but just a good story. The lady keeps a diary. She's going on a cruise, speaking of diaries, and she writes in her diary on the day one, I'm packing for this wonderful cruise. I packed my clothes, everything's ready to go. I'm so excited. Day two, at sea, splendid. I watched the dolphins and I watched the whales. What a great time today. I met the captain. He's a handsome gentleman. Day three, swimming pool. I did like surfing and shooting some golf balls from the deck, swimming in the pool. The captain invited me to his table, which is an honor. I accepted, had a great time at dinner. He's a very attractive and attentive man, and he has beautiful blue eyes. On day four, she says, I went to the casino and got lucky there. The captain invited me to have lunch in his cabin. A sumptuous meal with caviar and champagne. He asked me to spend the afternoon in his cabin, but I declined. I didn't want to be unfaithful to my husband. Day five, I returned to the pool, and then I decided to go to the piano bar and spend the rest of the day. Captain saw me and invited me for a drink. Actually, he's a charming man. He asked me if I wanted to go to his cabin that night, and I told him no. He told me that if I didn't change my mind, he would sink the ship. Day six, last night I saved 1,600 people. 4 times. anyways, this really is a good crowd. You can see when you walked in, the excitement in the crowd and the conviviality and all that's going on between the players and everybody else. I saw my good friend Pat Kittle here, Independence Township supervisor. Pat and I went out to lunch about a week ago, wasn't it, at the Clarkson Cafe, and we came out. There was a guy sitting on the curb, basically drinking out of a brown paper bag. This guy looked up at Pat and said, "Excuse me, sir, I haven't eaten in 4 days." And Pat said, "Damn, I wish I had your willpower." But anyway, enough stories. I just wanted to lighten up the mood after Mark got up here and spoke. We all know the number of vets in Oakland County. I'm proud to say we have 72,000 vets. Jody said in the state we have over 600,000 vets in the state of Michigan. Over 700,000. And of course, in the country, we've been at war now for almost 10 years since 9/11. And so we've brought into service, who volunteered and been drafted, over 2.4 million people who are all coming home at some point in time and needing the services that Jody and Mark and Kelly and the others put into their Veterans Court. These services are critical. I, as a funding agency, can't fund to the level I'd like. I just can't. We don't have the resources. So the judges can go to their friends in the private sector. So you got to help us out. We need some more money. We can do more if we had some more ability to pay a rent or fix some teeth or whatever it is they need. Because it's more than just drug counseling. It's total across the board sustenance of these veterans who've given so much for us. So I really appreciate the work that you all do, Jody and Mark. And I don't know, where's Kelly?
She's in the back.
Kelly in the back. Okay, honey. And so I'm delighted to support the cause. In this day and age, I spent my 2 years in the Army. I got out just as Vietnam broke out, so I spent all my 2 years on peace side. In fact, I was down in Fort Lindenwood, Missouri. That's where I met Jody for the first time. She was wandering the Ozarks then, and rescued her. It was 2 years that I'm glad I did it. But the people today serve a different 2 years than I ever had to face. And the war isn't like it used to be, the good guys on this side, the bad guys. You don't see the enemy. They blow you up with phones and so forth. It's just a vicious kind of a battle. It takes its toll physically and mentally on our troops. And all of a sudden you see, I think, a wave of patriotism, which I enjoy, coming back into this community, into this country. You see patriotic, I think, parades and flag wavings and things that just starting to be the way they used to be in the old days when I was growing up. Everybody was damn proud to be an American, and they showed it. And yes, sir. And let me end with this quick story because it's sort of interesting. I got a call from Al Muscovitz. Remember Big Al on the Burton Show? Yeah, he was a sidekick for Burton, one of Burton's people. And Big Al called me and he said, "Brooks, what are you doing on May, I think 16th, was it? May, anyway. And this past couple of months, I said, well, I got it open. Come on down to Royal Oak 13 in Woodward. There's a memorial, Veterans Memorial Park there. And we're going to use that as a site for a memorial. We're going to build for World War II veterans right here in Oakland County, right here in Royal Oak." And so I went down, because I am not a World War II vet, but certainly a vet that was in the Army. And they had 500 people show up. And I thought, God, that is so good to see the interest. And they got to raise a lot of money to build this memorial, but Big Al's taking on the responsibility. I just got a note from him on August the 16th. That's the 70th anniversary of VJ Day, the victory in Japan. Now, I don't remember so much the difference between the war. I just remember that when I was a kid, a young boy, the whole neighborhood was honking their horns. I said, "Dad, what's that all about?" The whole place just blew up. He said, "The war's over." So we got in our car, we took a big American flag, we led a parade with endless cars, you couldn't count them. So I'm old enough to remember the end of the war. My uncles was in it, two of my uncles served in the Navy. And then after that, for some reason, the guys that came home from Vietnam were cheated and denied their reception. It was a war that the media had deemed unnecessary, and the public turned on them. And so now this time around, we're doing it better, doing it right. So Al said, we got to honor those guys in World War II. So he's raising the funds. He's got a committee down there. And it's down in Royal Oak. And I said, why Royal Oak? I'm sorry. And he said, well, you probably don't know the story. I didn't. And I bet you don't know the story either. It goes back to 1651, when England was in a civil war, and Cromwell was leading the forces in resistance to King Charles II. And they, it was really a definitive battle at the Worcester, I think how it's pronounced it, and Worcester, and I make sure I got the date right, 1651. And Cromwell routed the troops loyal to the king. So the king fled his castle as the opposition, as the rebel troops came in under Cornwall, which Oliver Cornwall, he actually won that thing and held office for like 10 years, and the monarchy was renewed. But they were going to obviously, to kill him if they could catch him. So the loyal troops took Charles out the back door of his castle, and they fled, on foot into the woods. And they could see the troops gaining on them. So they told the king, hide in that big oak tree, because it's big and leafy and they won't see it. So he climbed to the top and hung on. The troops ran right underneath it, and they never did capture him. He actually made it over to France before, the Civil War is what it was, before the Civil War was over. The point is, he ran up in that tree and hid, and with the aid of his people who were supporting him. And so he hid in an oak tree, so they called that the Royal Oak. Well, in Royal Oak, 11 mile and 60 mile Woodward, we have a cutting of that tree. And we have actually 15 trees around this plaza, which is going to be where the honor, the wall veterans are going to build, will be placed between all these Royal Oaks. And that's the history of how Royal Oak got its name and how why they selected that place for the memorial. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of history there. But listen, back to more enjoyable things. A great outing. I understand it was very successful. Helped fund the courts, and I congratulate you on your support and recognition of the need and what this service provides. So thank you very much.
Next, I want to introduce the one that makes this possible. The owner of our dealerships, the owner of our other companies, Auto Credit Express, Richard J. Wallach.
Thank you. Well, that's quite an act to follow. So, 4 years ago, we had a lady walk into our dealership in Waterford asking for a donation for the Waterford Youth Assistance Program. And so we asked her who was the biggest donor. I think the guy said like $500. So we gave her $700. So we wanted to be number one. And then Ozzy, my good friend, said, you know what? We can do a whole lot better than that. Let's do a golf outing. And that was 4 years ago, was our first one. And we met Judge Jody, who was actively involved with the Waterford Youth Assistance Program. And now this thing's gone kind of crazy. Yeah. This is really a culmination of a year's worth of fundraising for our company. I gotta tell you, I got the best employees in the world. And I'm fortunate to be the founder and CEO of these great businesses, both in Macomb and Oakland County, in fact. We're building a beautiful new dealership on M59 in Gratiot. In Macomb County, we're building a new one in Auburn Hills as well in about a year from now. But anyway, this thing has gone from a $5,000 first year event to over $100,000 in fundraising for the vets. And we really could not have picked a better partner. These vets are incredible. They saved our lives. If we can give back a little bit, we're happy to do so. And for you guys to come out on Sunday, which is really our only day off, as a matter of fact, to spend your Sunday with us is incredible. We really do appreciate it. Okay, so I want to, this year, I want to thank some of our big sponsors who were very generous this year. First of all, if you guys need the best credit card processing company in the world, you want to see my friends Johnny and Joe Corey from Interlink Payment Systems. Of course, the best jeweler in the world, Armin Drakshin. We have our great banking friends. Where's Tim Olber and Ike Kuchar from Talmer Bank? One of our great clients from California, Car Chance, is here. And then last but not least, I wish he was here to talk to you guys today, but one of my mentors in the business, he's to me still the greatest car dealer in the world, Ken Mead from Mead Lexus. And here to say a few words on their behalf is Dennis Mitchell. Dennis, come on.
You are right. Mr. Mead is a wonderful guy, and good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Charity Open and Mead Lexus, I want to extend a warm welcome to our guests here to support the cause today. Mead Lexus is delighted to be the event sponsor, and hopefully we beat that $700 donation originally. This is the 5th annual tournament that we've been a part of. We really appreciate all the support for the local veterans that we have here, and support grows each year. As you likely know, the purpose of this golf outing is to raise money and awareness for the brave men and women who've served in the military, with proceeds going to local veterans, treatments courts, treatment programs, veterans struggling with alcohol addictions and substance abuse. There are more than 700,000 vets in Michigan, and with our mutual efforts and our support, we can give these troubled vets the treatment and care they once need, again, to live a productive life and feel appreciative of that they deserve. Mead Lexus was honored to be approached with this opportunity. As like we said, Mr. Mead is a veteran himself. He wished he could be here today, but unfortunately he's a little busy right now. But he wants to just emphasize that since we opened our location in Utica in 1989, it's been our pleasure and a commitment to give back to communities in need. In closing, I want to thank all of the sponsors, donors, guests for your contributions, and our personal thank you. We invite all our guests, past and current, military personnel to enjoy a $1,000 donation. Just mention that you were at the golf outing. Come see me, Dennis Mitchell, Mead Lexus of Lakeside, and we'd be more than happy to honor that. In addition, we do have some additional military awards available through Lexus directly. Now please raise your glass in a toast to the veterans who have fought for our freedom and to continue efforts to now fight for theirs. Cheers. Mr. Brett.
Sorry. Correct me.
Good.
All right, can I have your attention, please? I want to introduce Judge Jody Debrek-Satalski from the Veterans Treatment Court.
Holla! Woo! Way to go, everybody. I'm kind of the unjudged sometimes. I like these things an awful lot, and I'm not going to talk very long, even though I spend my time listening on the bench all the time. So when you give me a microphone, you know we like to chatter as judges. So I'm going to be very, very short. I am also going to hand it off to Judge Mark Switalski to introduce his team briefly. Unfortunately, Rich stole most of my thunder, so that's good about you guys coming out on Sundays. First of all, first and foremost, will all of the veterans that are in the room or in the building, please stand and be acknowledged. Let's listen, recovery is hard, readjustment is hard, especially when you put yourself in situations that most of us could never possibly even imagine. Treatment court is hard. It is not an easy thing that these men and women volunteer to do, much as they volunteer to go and serve our country. But I can tell you without a doubt, it changes people's lives, and it's not me, it's not Mark that changes lives, it's the team, it's the individual. They choose to change their own life, but without the support and without your sacrifice today, we would not be able to be as successful as we have been. And I'm actually going to briefly introduce my team because you should know who they are, because and you're part of that team. I can't read every single person's name in the room. You wouldn't want me to, I hope. And I'm not going to read all of my team's name. But again, thank you for agreeing with me by your presence here today that they're important enough to throw an extra $1 or $2 in and take that time out, because it sounds cliche, but they really do go fight for us, and they really have afforded us opportunities and endeavors and sacrifices that we need to pay them back, so thank you. Anyway, Judge Costin, I know you're here. You're my cohort in crime. Will you just stand, please? She's back there. Clarkson District Court Judge. Rhett Reeder. Rhett Reeder is my mentor coordinator and Air Force veteran. All of my mentors and vets, I know you guys are here. Would you all please stand as well? All my auxiliary, all my veterans, come on, get it up. I call them minions because they multiply like crazy. They're fantastic. Thank you. My dogs are here. Sally Slade is wonderful. She comes out. She brings our therapy dogs. I never thought I would let a dog in the courtroom. I have 2. And let me tell you, it really works. It's incredible. You're almost done. Rich, Tanya. I don't know how to say thank you anymore.
Say thank you.
I start crying, so you know I love you guys, and you change lives every day by this. Dave, I don't know where Dave is, but you've worked your ass off. So, is that a politically correct thing to say, Brooks? Yeah. Daniel, Ozzy is running around here somewhere, John Oswald, John Eddy. There was a woman named Donna, I don't know if she's here today, but she baked cookies, and there's so many different people at ACE and at Lalonde Charities and Summit Kia. Before I turn it over to you to introduce your team, I just want to bring up Pat Kittle, who is the new president of the Friends, our not-for-profit organization. If the dog leashes are here and the Lutzes are here, I just ask that they stand as well. Their sons, along with Pat and his wives, gave the ultimate sacrifice. That we work to prevent. With that, I can't say thank you enough. You don't want to hear from me anyway. We're all hungry and thirsty. Mike Getz, I'm not forgetting that you're here with the Attorney General's office. I think you're running for office as well, but I didn't say that out loud. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Pat.
Thanks, Jody. I guess first and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for coming to, I think, what is the coolest township in America, Independence Township. Yeah. All right. I've been lucky when I retired from Chrysler. I got hooked up in politics, and I tell you what, I don't think I've ever had so much fun. But then I met Kelly and Jody, and they got me hooked up in the Veterens Treatment Court, and working with guys like Rich and the mentors and everybody, and Dave and Oz. I've never seen more people more passionate about helping those who've helped us. Yeah. God bless them. God bless America. Thank you, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Judge Mark Switolski. I'm from the Macomb County Circuit Court. And I had the pleasure last Thursday, or last Wednesday, I guess, going to the Waterford District Court for their graduation. So they had 9 veterans graduating from the program. And it was a great event. They had a Supreme Court justice there. And they also had 3 of these service dogs there. And we don't have the service dogs in our court, but my understanding of it is that they go to people that they help you with your stress, okay? And it's a little embarrassing to me that all 3 service dogs sat by me. I don't know what that was all about.
Get me for.
I don't know if that was prearranged, but it was certainly helpful for me. I want to tell you a little bit about how it works because you have a team. Jody referred to a team. We've got 3 great members of our team here today. John Wallace. John, if you would stand. John is a retired lieutenant colonel. Retired Lieutenant Colonel, he's the head of our mentor program, and he's also with the 501c3. He puts in countless hours toward this project. And I want to thank John. He's a key, critical part of the whole thing. Tony Urbani. I don't know what Tony charges. Tony's a lawyer. I don't know what his hourly rate is. It's pretty high up there. He gives time to this project, raising money. He's a fantastic fundraiser for the 501c3. He used to be for the Bar Association, but he's not the most politically correct guy in the world. So he won't be getting anywhere near the microphone, but he's fantastic. We also have Gail Pamikoff Miller. Gail? Gail is the defense lawyer for the Veterans Treatment Court, so once they're in the Veterans Court, they've had their own lawyer to get them in, and once they're in, Gail represents them at each and every session. She's another highly successful lawyer. She's has defended people on the Innocence Project. She's done all kinds of things. She's tried murder cases in front of me. One of my favorite courtroom experiences was listening to her cross-examine a coroner, because Gail's also a nurse, and she's also with the 501c3, and you guys know she's done a ton of work on this as well. And then also here is Sherry Detzler, and Macomb, Sherry, if you'd stand. Sherry's also a lawyer, and she is the lawyer for the... I don't have the pleasure of working with her as much because she's with Judge Fuca in the district court version of our Veterans Treatment Court, so we kind of work in tandem but not in the same building. So thanks, Sherry, for everything you do. I have to say, Rich, I used to be the chief judge at Macomb, and if I still was, I'd be stealing some of your guys because they're unbelievable, the way they are organized and the way they do this stuff. So again, everybody, thanks. It's been a long day. We couldn't operate the way we do it and be as successful as our teams are without your help, and this has become more and more important to us. So thanks for everybody.
I forgot one person. Chris Marcoux, are you still here? My program coordinator, is he still here or did he go? He's a Marine, and I just wanted to acknowledge him, but I think he must have left. So thank you. I'm going to pass this off to you gentlemen again. Rich, is Tanya hiding here somewhere? She's up. There you are. You snuck in. So she doesn't like it. She's amazing. So I'm going to pass it back off to you. Thank you, everyone, again.
I did this one of our sponsors, Lending Tree, who hosted our wine tasting event this year. So thank you to Lending Tree. Also, just to wrap it up, where's Dan Shevnock? These two guys just killed it this year. I mean, these two guys took the ball and ran with it. They killed it this year for the veterans. And I love you guys. All right, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to start rolling with dinner. It's a plated dinner this year. We're not going to have a buffet, so enjoy the dinner. If you'd like to mingle up again on the silent auction, we're going to leave that open for a little while. And as you get maybe about halfway through dinner, we're going to probably get some of the things started, some prizes. We still have the opportunity of the booze basket here to sell tickets, silent auction, and we're going to have some live auction items. We maybe have about 10 or 12 live auction items that we're going to roll with, and we're going to do that during dinner so we can speed it up and get you out of here as well. All right, so we're going to roll.
Yeah, folks, if you can take a seat as quickly as possible. We have some folks sitting outside, and I do believe we have enough seats inside. So please, grab a seat as quickly as you can so we can get some more folks in here from outside. Thank you.